Welcome back, everybody. In this video, I'm gonna give you guys some fundamentals to live by in the structure of existence, the four universal law that I wrote this down maybe 10 years ago. I can't find my notebook anywhere. I looked all over. I'm just gonna try to go off the top of my head. But basically, these universal law, and there's many, right? But this one, whatever you believe, but there's a guy. There are people that channels other beings. They use their body as a channel for the other beings to take over, to channel through them to give us information, whether whether they're true or false, we don't know, but it sounds like it's a good thing. So basically, I remember this back then, kind of the structure of existence, and pretty much what these laws that was stated. It applies to all dimensions in all worlds, all existence, whether it's mini worlds or other dimensions. These laws apply to all of it. So I'm gonna tell you about these laws that I've remembered. I wish I had my notes that I wrote this down, but I'm just gonna go off the top of my head, and then maybe towards the end of the video, if you guys still listening, I will kind of give you guys an explanation of pleasure and pain. But the first law is that you exist. And since you exist, you will always exist. Even though your physical form might transform, you'll still be on the side of existence. Because basically, there's no more room for non-existence. So basically, whether you realize it or not, you're pretty much eternal, right? Second law was stated that one is all and all are one. So pretty much all beings in creation make up all that is, and all that is makes up all beings in creation. Nothing is outside of it. Everything is made out of all that there is. So pretty much we all came from one source, I guess, and all of us, all the individuals that is living, all the beings has their each own perspective through their reality, but ultimately we're connected from this one source, because all that ever existed, will always existed, is what you can call whatever you want. You can call God, higher being, whatever it is, or higher power, but there's something that connects all of us together. So that's that concept of that law. Third law states that, and pretty much a lot of people know this and can live by this and does live by this, is that what you put out is what you get back. So pretty much our physical reality is simply just a mirror of ourselves. And if you believe in vibration, whatever your bright vibration is, it creates your reality. Okay? And if you resist your vibration, your core vibration, it results in pain. So if you understand that something that causes pain, you might want to change it, whatever that cause might be. And I'll try to explain that more after the next law. But so that pretty much is pain is the result of you resisting your core vibration. And the last and final law, this universal law here, states that everything, everywhere, everything, everybody, uh, everything will always change because change is constant. The only thing that won't change is the first three laws. So that, ladies and gentlemen, as I remember, there are, I guess they consider this four universal law for the structure of existence. Now, I'm gonna explain a little bit about pleasure and pain. So basically, obviously, no one wants pain. Everyone wants pleasure, right? So if, for instance, let's say you're a gambler, which is fine. It's fun. You know, I used to be a gambler, like a big time. Now I just do it for fun, but like at a house party or whatever. But like, if you're a big gambler, and there's nothing wrong with gambling because it makes you have fun. But if this fun is causing you to the money that you using to gamble affects your life, affects your relationship, affects your mortgage, affects your spending, you know, that is going to be pain. So that is no longer a pleasure, an enjoyable thing to do. It's causing you pain. So that sense, you will have to try to change that, or else it's going to be a negative outcome, right? So your pleasure now became your pain, and that's not what you want. So you need to recognize that and try to change that. Another one, let's say you're in a relationship and you're happy with your significant other or baby mama, whatever you want to call it, but let's say she or he doesn't feel the same because in their perspective they're unhappy. Even though you're happy, they're unhappy. If you guys, so even though you're happy and they're unhappy, and then if you guys can't come to a mutual understanding and try to figure out each other's problem and try to get each other on board, even though on the outside you guys have like a house, you got kids, picket fences, whatever, everything looks good, you guys don't really fight or whatever, but inside he or she is unhappy and you guys can't be on board with each other, that's a clear sign that your vibration has a different path for you, or something's not correct, or it's time to move on. And I know it's very hard. It's very hard. I lived through it before, so I speak from experience. But at the same time, if the pain that it causes you for whatever happens in that relationship, it's a sure sign that you're not in your ideal vibrational path that you want to be aligned with, whatever that may be. And you have to realize that and you have to see that, and then you have to prepare for that, and then you guys have to if it's time for you guys to go your separate ways, you guys can talk about it and go your separate ways. If not, then you guys work it and be together and understand each other and be on board, so that way you guys can fix it and you guys can live a happy life. I know it's hard, easier said than done, but that's just my example of pleasure and pain. It's because most people, everyone always wants pleasure and they always run away from pain because no one wants pain. But at the same time, we have to realize that even though it might pleasure us, but if it causes a negative effect, then we're not going to be happy, and that becomes pain, right? So if, like, another example, if you're a cheater, and you did it for whatever reason, but let's say you did it for pleasure, but obviously you did it for pleasure, and then your spouse finds out, that's going to cause you a lot of pain. So So if before you even think about doing that, you might want to like think twice before you do that, because it will cause pain. But everyone has the free will. Everyone is on their own path. But I've just given you guys some example of you know pleasure and pain, which most people already know. But what they probably don't know is that even though by doing something that you feel like is pleasure, but really it's just a pleasure in disguise, because ultimately it'll cause someone pain, which ultimately will cause you pain, or someone cause you pain and you do that. But that is something that you have to realize in life, is that if you notice that and that's what's happening, you're not on your core vibration. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. So thanks you guys for listening.